In a time when America was divided by race and fear, there was one man who rose, not just to fight, but to heal, to unite, and to leave a legacy that would transcend time. His name was Joe Louis. Born on May 13, 1914, in a small wooden shack in Lafayette, Alabama, Joseph Louis Barrow was the seventh of 8 children. His father, Monroe Barrow, was a sharecropper, working from sunup to sundown, a man with rough hands, silently bearing the weight of a broken world. His mother, Lily Barrow, was a pillar of strength, a beacon of faith in their humble home, doing everything she could to hold the family together. Poverty wasn't just an obstacle, it was a constant companion. But in the heart of struggle, Joe found his purpose. He was just a boy, but the world was about to change for him, and for everyone. Seeking a better life, the family moved to Detroit, Michigan, part of the Great Migration, and Joe faced a new battle. He didn't talk much, but his dreams were big. He wanted to become a cabinet maker, to build, to create, but boxing found him. One day he signed up for violin lessons, but Joe didn't want to play music. He wanted to fight. He didn't admit it, but his gloves were always there, hidden in a violin case. That moment changed history forever. In 1934, Joe began his professional boxing career. His first fights were rough, filled with mistakes. But there was something in him, a quiet fury, a deadly calm. His coaches saw it, and soon the world would too. By 1936, Joe Louis was on the path to greatness. In the summer of 1938, he faced Max Schmeling, the former German champion and symbol of Nazi power. Joe lost the first fight. But this wasn't the end of his story. It was the beginning. June 22, 1938. The world was watching. In just 124 seconds, Joe Louis stood victorious. The rematch wasn't just a fight for a title. It was a battle for America's soul. The Brown Bomber had knocked out the champion of hate. And in that moment, he became not just a boxer, but a symbol. World War II. Joe wasn't just a fighter in the ring. He was a fighter for hope. He raised millions in war bonds, toured with the troops, inspired soldiers and civilians alike. Joe Louis wasn't just fighting for victory. He was fighting for unity. He said, "We'll win because we're on God's side." And the people believed in him, black and white. Joe had become a bridge, one punch at a time. Joe Louis defended his title 25 times, a record that still stands. Each fight was a brutal lesson in power and precision. But there were dark moments too. The price of greatness, hidden behind the spotlight. Joe was more than a boxer. He was an icon. But his fight wasn't just in the ring, it was in his soul. In 1949, Joe retired. But retirement wasn't peaceful. The ropes that once confined him now felt like chains. Joe's financial troubles began. Taxes, debt, struggles, but Joe never gave up. He couldn't. He was Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. In 1951, Joe fought his final battle against Rocky Marciano. Marciano won. But he knew he hadn't just beaten a fighter. He had beaten a legend. "I just beat my idol," Marciano would later say. Retirement was a harsh world. Joe battled depression, addiction, and loneliness. The champion who had filled stadiums now fought in the shadows, trying to reclaim a piece of himself. Joe was married, twice had 4 children. He found love again, but the peace he sought was always elusive. He loved golf, jazz, and dreaming of simpler days, but nothing could erase the scars of his past. April 12, 1981, Joe Louis passed away at 66. But his legacy? It would never die. Joe Louis was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and forever remembered as the man who fought for more than just a title. His legacy transcended the ropes. He inspired nations. He broke barriers. Joe Louis didn't just break records. He broke barriers. He didn't just fight in the ring. He fought for the soul of a nation. And in the end, that is the legacy that endures. Not the titles, but the hearts he inspired. He was the Brown Bomber, the American hero, the man who fought for everyone.